Hi you guys, my name is Cherita. Oh, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the blatant racism that went on at West Point Consolidated School, High School. West Point High School. That's what we're going to call it. It was in Mississippi, and we're going to go there because we need to talk about it. To be honest, at this point, there's not much that can be done because it's been done, but I still feel like the conversation needs to happen. So if you're interested in this video, go ahead and keep watching. Before I get started, make sure you click subscribe for content whenever I post. And also do not forget to click the notification bell so that you are notified every single time that I post a video. So let's get started. Okay, so at West Point High School in Mississippi on senior night, the school announced the Valedictorian and the Salutatorian, and they happened to be two young Black women, and their names are Ikeria Washington and Layla Temple. Senior night was maybe 2 days before graduation or something. It was a couple days before graduation. Well, the day of graduation, come to find out, they then announced that they made a mistake in that the actual valedictorians were two other kids who just happened to be a white male and a white young man and a white young woman. So basically the story is when Ikeria and Temple were presented with their honors, these parents threw a fit and basically went to anybody that they could go to, the superintendent, the principal, the teachers, whoever, to be like, they've worked so hard for this. Is there any way that they can, turn in an extra assignment or something like that? And what ended up happening is that these two students were able to turn in assignments that bumped up their GPA, which then I guess put their GPA over the two young Black women who had fairly, I guess, who basically won the spot of valedictorian and salutatorian. And so I know a lot of people are like, well, how do you know this? How do you know that? Well, because you do research. You look at Facebook. You look to see that the school district deactivated their Facebook after they got a lot of heat over this. I mean, the silence speaks for itself. But before all of that happened, there are some, of course, when things like this happen, people take screenshots. The internet is forever. I don't know what to tell y'all, but the internet's forever. So I'm going to read some of the posts that transpired to show what happened so that these two children who just happened to be white, they were able to get their way and be co-valedictorian and co-salutatorian along with these two Black women who earned their spot. They're being forced to share because the other parents or the other kids didn't find it fair. But, we're the ones who like handouts. So the first thing that I do want to point out is that the school district itself congratulated these two young women. Congratulations, put it on their Facebook page. And then one of the moms of the other kids posted not a screenshot. They had posted a status, congratulations to these two. They've been working for this spot since they were in 4th grade, blah, blah, blah. But of course, she didn't mention the other two young women who rightfully earned their spots. And then the school district then posted a follow-up explaining the situation. And then one of the girls of, I'm pretty sure it was Layla's sister. She was basically telling the situation, how it happened. So let's start from the beginning. West Point Consolidated School District posted a picture of the two young women and said, congratulations to West Point High School's 2020-2021 valedictorian and salutatorian. Posted their names, their picture, whatever. Then this mom posted a picture of the actual valedictorian and salutatorian, and it reads, set a goal and pursue it with all you have. No matter what, keep believing in it. Valedictorian, the kid's name, salutatorian, the kid's name. They have battled for first and second spot since elementary school, and how fitting that they end up fractions of a point apart. Congratulations, I'm so proud of you both. You represent West Point High School so well. Now, this is after the school had already presented Layla and Ikeria as valedictorian and salutatorian. So now I'm going to read what West Point Consolidated School District posted after. The West Point Consolidated School District would like to address the concerns of the naming of valedictorian and salutatorian for the WPHS class of 2021. There are two methods to determine a student's class rank. The first is quality point average, or QPA. The second is grade point average, or GPA. On page 10 of the West Point High School Student Handbook, it states, class rank. A student's rank in his/her graduating class will be calculated by averaging his/her semester averages. Based on the above statement in the handbook, a student's ranking should be determined by GPA. However, at Senior Awards Day on Monday, May 24th, 2021, the two students who were recognized as valedictorian and salutatorian did not have the highest GPA. Instead, these two students have the highest QPA. The two students with the highest QPA are Ikeria Washington and Layla Temple. The two students with the highest GPA are, insert student's name. I'm not saying their names. The WPCSD feels it necessary to recognize all four seniors at graduation. Congratulations to the following: insert name and Ikeria Washington, valedictorian. Insert name and Layla Temple, salutatorian. We apologize for any confusion and problems this has caused. The school district takes full responsibility for this misunderstanding. What's the difference between a QPA and a GPA? And of course, they don't give that information out. But what it sounds like is the QPA is the average for when you take higher courses, like AP courses. So if you take an AP course and you get an A, that's worth like a 5. Whereas if you take a regular class, you get an A, it's worth a 4. So that's how people get like 4.2 GPAs and 4.5 GPAs and things like that. But it's still like, it still doesn't tell you exactly what this means. What's the difference between a QPA and a GPA? Isn't it harder to get a higher QPA than it is a higher GPA? Because in order to get the higher QPA, you have to take honors classes and AP classes. And I know you're probably still thinking, but Cherita, like, how do you know that like the teacher allowed them to give extra work and blah, 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 whatever. I'm going to tell you. So this is coming from the salutatorian's sister. And she says, for the people asking me for an update, according to my mama, the white students were allowed submissions past the deadline, which was before awards day. This caused their GPAs to increase by 0.2 and 0.3. That is why they made 2 awards for each title for the students. I don't doubt the hard work all 4 put in. I, in fact, applaud them. But we're not going to sit here and act like there wasn't outside motives that led to this situation. Congratulations again, Ikeria and Layla. And I said what I said, argue with your mammy. Then she did an edit. My sister had grades in Mrs. Davis' class that weren't added. The superintendent allowed the white kids' grades to be submitted because he felt like that was not fair. When my mama informed him about my sister still having unsubmitted grades as well, they were told, and I quote, well, I don't know about that. And the subject was dismissed. Any unbiased person would have made sure all 4 students had 100% submissions entered and then recalculated GPAs thoroughly. That did not happen. So yes, we have our suspicions about the whole situation, and due to the fact that other people are picking up on it as well, because in my original post yesterday, I did not say anything negatively or surrounding the race of the white kids, lets you know everything you need to know. So basically it sounds like these people threw a fit and the superintendents were like, okay, fine, whatever, you can do whatever. Okay, fine, allow the grades to be entered. And of course, I know a lot of you guys will be like, well, we don't know the whole story. We don't know. I'm sorry, but when the school district deactivates their Facebook page, that's very telling. And when these other parents have nothing to say, that's very telling. Silence usually means something. The silence speaks for itself. And so it's just so frustrating because I guarantee you, if the roles were reversed, Now, number one, if the roles were reversed and say, you know, these kids of color, they didn't have their stuff submitted in time, I doubt they would have made a big deal. But had they made a big deal about the situation, guarantee you the superintendent would have been like, well, sorry, should have done it on time. They're just out here giving participation trophies. And it's frustrating. So you know how when Black people say that we have to work 5 times as hard to get an ounce of credibility or success or validation? This is what we're talking about. Because these kids were taking AP classes, honors classes, yet you're still allowing kids who took the regular classes to be on the same level, the same playing field, if not higher. Like, tell me where that makes sense. And if I have this wrong, please let me know. But I'm just going off of the things that I've read. And like I said over and over again, the silence and the deactivation tells me everything I need to know. Because now they're just running from the situation. The kids have since graduated. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of all of them for graduating. But give credit where it's due and allow these Black people to succeed. Allow these Black people to be on top. I don't care if, you know, if their GPA was a 5.2 and then the next person's was a 4.1. I don't care. They worked for that 5.2. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. This is just like the whole Simone Biles situation, which, okay, so I recorded a video about Simone Biles, but literally my phone, for whatever, I think it has something to do with my watch, but my phone literally zoomed in to where it was literally recording like this chunk of my face. And I'm like, first of all, that's not attractive. And secondly, like, maybe I'll just use the audio. I'm still trying to figure that out in my head. But Simone Biles is so much better than all these gymnasts. And yes, she's still winning, but they're punishing her for it. She's already scoring above and beyond these other athletes. But then they're saying, well, maybe it's like a safety issue. So we're not going to give her the points that these skills deserve. We're gonna lower them. Now, granted, she's the only person who can do it, but we're gonna lower it just a little bit so that the margin isn't so big. Why does it matter? Give the credit that it deserves. They don't do this to men and they don't do this to white people, and it's frustrating. And if you don't believe me, just research. So anyway, let me know what you think about this whole situation. I think it's crap. I think Ikeria and Layla should have been the valedictorian and salutatorian, and then those other two, you know, classmates could have been 3rd and 4th. They're still top 10. That's still incredible. But why take away from these people? People hate for Black people to win, and it is deeply rooted in racism, and you cannot change my mind. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. Also, do not forget to link up with me on social media, especially Twitter. All of that information will be down below in the description box. And if you want more of me, make sure you sign up for my Patreon or my membership here on YouTube. Please do not sign up for both. They both reap the same benefits. And until my next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Give me up, I wanna. Gotta work, go berserk, I gotta. No, you gon' wake up. No, you gotta get your cake up. Don't matter if it's 4, 5, 6,